Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. Happy new week. Welcome to the weekly astro forecast for the week of November 14th through 20th, 2022. All right. I am your host, Mel of Divine Feminine Works, your favorite astrologer, here to help you learn all about astrology and learn what's in store for the week. All right. So if you are new here, welcome. And as always, if you are returning, welcome back. This channel is everything tarot, astrology, spirituality, and manifestation. So if those are the things you like, if those are the things you love, if those are the things you want to learn more about, don't forget to hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you'll always be notified when I come out with new content. And speaking of content, head over to Instagram and hit that follow button. I've got loads of excellent daily content. Plus, I try to go live over there every Thursday night at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time for live tarot readings by sign. All right, so let's let the good people over on Twitter know that we are live so that they can come and join us this evening. All right. So hopefully you guys are doing well. I know that we are fresh off the heels of that full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus last week, and it was everything. It was a lot. The energy was intense. The enlightenment was intense. It was just a lot going on. But thankfully, we are out of eclipse season. So eclipse season for 2022 is officially over. We don't have to worry about any more eclipses until April or May of next year. So we're kind of in the clear. Whatever was supposed to happen, whatever was supposed to go down, either went down or is slowly going to unfold over the next 6 months. All right. So thankfully, a lot of that intense energy has passed and we can kind of get back to business as usual. And I say business as usual kind of lightly because we do have some other things coming up, but nothing as crazy as the eclipses. But definitely this week is going to be a very full week. All right. We've got a lot going on this week. Good stuff, though. We definitely have some good stuff going on. All right. So before I get ahead of myself, as always, let's get into some housekeeping. If you are joining me here on the live, please hit that thumbs up on your way in. And don't forget to say hi as you come on into the room. All right. And if you are interested in getting your weekly horoscope, I have this service where you can get your weekly horoscope texted right to your phone every single Monday. And if you are interested in that, just text ZODIAC to 855-826-5544 and you will get your weekly dose of astrology every Monday. Again, that's texting ZODIAC to 855-826-5544. And if you want more information on that, that will be in the description box below. All right. And as always, if you are new to astrology, or even if you just need a refresher because you've been studying astrology, I created this thing called the Astrology Basics Cheat Sheet, which basically gives you the quick and dirty on everything you know to start studying astrology. So the 4 pillars of astrology that you need to get down pat so that you can start learning are the planets, the houses, the signs, and the aspects. So I created this 11-page PDF document that gives you the quick and dirty on those 4 pillars. Basically, it gives you the raw information that you need so that you can commit it to memory and start learning astrology. All right, because astrology can be highly technical, a lot of different jargon, there's a lot of math involved. It's a lot. So in order to get you started, I created this cheat sheet, which I hope that you will enjoy. It is free to download. The link is in the description box below. But what I love about it the most is that it gets you to start understanding your natal chart. So your natal chart is the blueprint to your life. It can tell you a lot about your life, not only your present life, but your past life and your future as well. And so if you're just starting astrology and you just first take a look at your natal chart, it's a whole bunch of lines, numbers, symbols, etc. This cheat sheet will help you start making sense of what all those components of the natal chart are. And again, if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. All right, so let's chat for a little bit before we get into the nitty gritty. So this week I really like this week because after all of that intensity of last week, we have some really, really good transits this week. Jupiter is a major player this week, and Jupiter is known as the greater benefic. It's the planet that bestows abundance, good luck, and good fortune. And we've got 3 planets making harmonious aspects to Jupiter this week. So there's going to be a lot of good news. There's going to be a lot of optimism. I feel like for the most part, many of us are going to be very clear on our purpose, very clear on what we're here to do, and amped to do it. And in doing so, I feel like the universe is going to step in and bless us with some good fortune, with some good luck, with some abundance. So expect some good stuff to come your way this week. All right. It's really a week where you can kind of look at the brighter side of life. You can also look at the bigger picture of life. And the energy this week is leading up to Sagittarius season. We've got 2 planets going into the sign of Sagittarius this week. And then Sagittarius season officially starts next week. And Sagittarius season is all about being large and in charge. It's about being optimistic, open-minded, wanting adventure, wanting to learn new things and expand your mind. And so we're starting to get the momentum is building with that energy. So this week we're going to see a lot of things expand. We're going to have the option, not the option, but we're going to have opportunities for growth in many different areas of our life, particularly when it comes to romance or when it comes to money. I feel like those 2 areas are going to be ripe for some abundance and good fortune this week. So like I said, I'm really excited for this week, and I think that you guys will be too. All right. So of course, let's get into some astrology, particularly learning astrology. All right. So let's see what is on the menu this week in terms of what we're going to learn. All right. So this week we are learning about Venus, we are learning about Sagittarius, and we are learning about Jupiter. All right. So first up, we've got Venus, and I'm pretty sure that most of you are very familiar with Venus. It is the planet of love and money. It represents relationships, finances, fairness, and equality. All right. So most people, as soon as you talk about the planets and you say love, people automatically assume that you're talking about Venus. And that's very true. Venus is all about relationships. It's about attraction. It's about beauty. It's about art. All of the nice, feel-goody things in life are generally governed by Venus. Now, one of the other things that you should know about Venus is that it also rules fairness. So Venus is the ruling planet for 2 signs. It's the ruling planet for Taurus, and it's the ruling planet for Libra. Now, Taurus is an earth sign. So the way that Venus expresses itself in Taurus is that it's all about material things. It's all about money. It's all about wealth. It's all about beautiful things that you can touch, tangible things that you can touch, right? Venus, Taurus as represented by Venus is very materialistic. Let's just say that. Now, on the other hand, we have Libra, and Libra is an air sign. And so this side of Venus that I feel doesn't get enough attention is the fact that it represents things like fairness, equality, balance. And those are the sort of essential characteristics of Libra. So Venus sort of expresses itself in 2 different ways. But by and large, if you need to remember exactly what Venus represents, it's love and money. That's basically the quick and dirty on Venus. But all of that feel-good stuff, romance, it's all governed by Venus. I'm pretty sure you guys know that. All right. So next up, we have Sagittarius, as we are about to enter into Sagittarius season, and we have 2 planets entering into the sign of Sagittarius this week. So Sagittarius is the 9th sign of the zodiac. It is ruled by Jupiter. Okay. It's all about being adventurous and learning by experience. All right. So here's sort of the background, right? Because anytime you move into a new sign, you sort of have to talk about the signs that came before it. So currently we are in Scorpio season, and Scorpio season is intense. It's all about diving into the depths of our soul, diving into the depths of our psyche. It's all about getting deep, getting substantial, getting to the heart of the matter. Needless to say, Scorpio energy is very intense. It could also be a little limiting, right? Because Scorpio kind of fixates or even obsesses over one thing or just a couple of things in particular. So we go from that energy into Sagittarius energy. And Sagittarius energy is, I don't want to say the opposite, but it's very different than Scorpio energy. Whereas Scorpio energy is all about depth, Sagittarius energy is all about expansion. It's about expanding your mind. It's about experiencing life and learning through experiences in life. It's about being adventurous. It's about broadening your horizons. You know, Sagittarius energy is very much related or I shouldn't even say related. Sagittarius energy is symbolic of long distance travel. And I want you to take a look at the glyph for Sagittarius. Not only is it an arrow, it's like an arrow shooting into the sky, right? That is the essence of Sagittarius energy. It's about things that are far and wide, things that are at a distance from you, long distance travel, expanding your mind and experiencing new things in life, all right? And that's sort of where we're going. And the fact that Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter allows us to feel a bit more optimistic, all right? And speaking of Jupiter, let's talk about that for a second. So Jupiter is the planet of abundance and luck. It represents good fortune, it represents adventure, and it represents expansion, all right? And so the fact that Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, it means that Sagittarius season allows us to be more optimistic. It allows us to see the bigger picture of life. The thing with Sagittarius is that it's large and in charge. It expands, it widens, it makes things bigger. Think about, maybe you can't think about this because maybe you don't know, but Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. So everything having to do with Sagittarius and specifically Jupiter is about expansion and enlarging things, all right? And it's also about abundance and good fortune. Like Jupiter is the planet of luck. It's the planet of goodness. So we've got Venus and Jupiter, which are positive planets. They're actually known as benefic planets, and they bestow positive energy. And so with Jupiter playing a major role, not only in this coming week, but also in Sagittarius season, expect good things. Like one of the things I like about Sagittarius season is that it reminds us that it's okay to be optimistic. It's okay to look at the brighter side of life. Scorpio season is rough, right? Scorpio season is all about seeing the nasty side of life, the real side of life, the part of life that's intense and that may be difficult. Whereas Sagittarius is like all about optimism. It's all about enthusiasm. And it's interesting that Sagittarius season sort of coincides with the holiday season, okay? Definitely Thanksgiving, going into Christmas, that's all Sagittarius season. And think about how the holidays feel. Sort of, it's that time of the year where it's almost expected that you put aside your grudges. It's the end of the year, so it's time for you to make amends. It's time to be happy. It's time to celebrate. It's time to be with people. That happy-go-lucky energy is all Sagittarius, okay? And you usually find that with Sagittarius people. I find that Sagittarius people typically tend to be optimistic, happy-go-lucky, very spontaneous. They like to take risks. They like to, a lot of the Sagittarians that I know, they're always down for whatever. If you want to do something random on a random day at a random time, I feel like Sagittarians are always down to go. They always love an adventure, okay? So I feel like we have a lot to look forward to in this next season, but particularly this week, because I feel like Jupiter is just getting started. Jupiter is just getting warmed up, especially this week. It's showing us exactly what is in store for the next couple of weeks. So enjoy it. And I feel like this is also going to be the week where, most importantly, you get very clear on what it is that you need to do. I feel like that full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus opened our eyes to a lot of things. Many of us started to see very clearly, not only ourselves, but the world around us. And now that we have this information, I feel like the universe is giving us the opportunity to act on it, or the universe is providing opportunities for us this week to expand on these visions, to expand on these purposes, to expand on these passions that we've recently come to know and understand. So I feel like it's going to be a very beneficial week. I feel like it's going to be a week of abundance. I feel like and mind you, I don't know about you, but a lot of times when I think of abundance, I think of like winning the lotto or something really big. And it's important to understand that abundance doesn't just mean a boatload of money. Abundance could mean love. It could be attention, affection, just goodness, feeling good. Okay. And so I feel like when I say abundance, I don't want you to think that you're just going to get a pot of gold this week. You could. It's always a possibility. But abundance just doesn't equal money, okay? And with good luck and good fortune, also characteristic of that Jupiter energy, again, I think that we have a lot to look forward to this week, all right? And speaking of this week, let's get into the highlights and see exactly what we're talking about. Oh, wrong thing. All right, there we go. All right, so first up, we have what I like to call sunshine and rainbows. And that's because we have the Sun, Mercury, and Venus are all going to be making harmonious trines to Jupiter. So this is exactly what I was just talking about. Good luck, good fortune, abundance, opportunities, personal growth, good news, like all of that sunshine and rainbow energy is going to be present this week, which I don't know about you, is definitely needed because last week was, it was a lot. All right. Then we have what I like to call universal love. And this is specifically Venus entering into Sagittarius. Whenever we talk about love, whenever we talk about Venus, especially Venus and Sagittarius, we're talking about love not just for someone else. It's not just one-to-one relationships. Venus and Sagittarius is universal love. It's love for your fellow man. It's understanding what love even is and experiencing it on a universal and a broad level. Okay. And so this is also going to be about romantic adventures, experiencing new things in relationships, and expanding your mind and your heart. All right. And then finally, we have what I like to call big plans. And this is going to be Mercury entering into Sagittarius. And so this is going to be literally expanding your mind, learning new things, sort of giving into your curiosities, seeking and learning about new ideals, being exposed to new beliefs, understanding things on a universal level. Perhaps even talking to people who are of different cultures, different faiths, different societies. It's about expanding your mind and communicating with people on a broader level. All right. So as you can tell, there's a lot of expansive energy this week. And speaking of the week, let's get into the nitty gritty and see what we got coming up. All right, so on Monday, today, we have the Sun trine Neptune, Mercury sextile Pluto, and the Moon in Leo. Then tomorrow on Tuesday, we have the first of the Jupiter trines, which is going to be Venus trine Jupiter. Then on Wednesday, we have Venus entering Sagittarius. The second of the Jupiter trines, we've got Mercury trine Jupiter, and then we have the Moon in Virgo. And then Thursday, we've got Mercury moving into Sagittarius. Friday, we've got the Sun sextile Pluto. Saturday, we've got Mars square Neptune and the Moon moving into Libra. And finally, on Sunday, we have the third Jupiter trine, which is the Sun trine Jupiter. All right, so let's get into it and let's get down to the nitty gritty. So first up, we've got Monday, which is today, obviously. All right, so first up, we have the Sun trine Neptune. You'll see the Sun, Mercury, and Venus at the upper right-hand part of the chart. They are all clustered together in what's called a stellium. And we got the Sun at 22 degrees Scorpio, still in Scorpio season. And it's going to be trine to Neptune in Pisces, which you'll see on the left-hand side of the chart, which is at 22 degrees Pisces. Then we have Mercury right next to the Sun at 26 degrees Scorpio, which is going to be sextile to Pluto at 26 degrees Capricorn. And then finally, we have the Moon in playful and lighthearted Leo at the bottom of the chart on the right-hand side. All right. So first things up, we've got the Sun trine Neptune, okay? And this is going to give a very ethereal and dreamy sort of energy to today. And I don't know about you, but I was having a conversation with someone earlier and I was like, today doesn't even feel real. Like something about the time today, like today I felt like I was in La La Land. I felt like life just wasn't real. Let me know in the chat or in the comments if you know what I mean, because time doesn't seem real. Time seems like an illusion. Like I'll get something done, then forget that I did it. And when I go back, it's completely done. And I'm like, when did I do this? Like things just seem so ethereal. And that's definitely Neptune at work. All right. You might also feel very sensitive today. Neptune is all about sensitivity. It's all about empathy. So if you find that your empathic nature is heightened today, if you find that you're extra sensitive, that's definitely Neptune at work as well. So this is allowing you, this particular transit, Sun trine Neptune, is really allowing you to see the bigger picture of your life, see the bigger picture of yourself. There's something about knowing your purpose and your passions, and Neptune sort of giving you the energy to dream about it, to imagine it. So today is a wonderful day for manifestation. If you know what you want to do, but you don't know how you're going to do it, you don't know how you're going to get it done, all you need to do today, and even until tomorrow, into tomorrow, imagine it. Literally sit and visualize. Imagine. Let your imagination soar. Your imagination is what helps create your reality. And if you know exactly what you want to do, imagine it and it shall unfold before you. Okay. So again, today's a really great day for imagination. It's also a really great day for creativity as Neptune rules creative endeavors. So if you are a singer, a dancer, an artist, a musician, a painter, a sculptor, any sort of creativity, especially creativity that really comes from your heart, that you're really passionate about, today and into tomorrow is going to be a great time to engage in creative endeavors. Okay. Now, Neptune also rules spirituality. And I feel like many people are going to be very clear on their spiritual beliefs. I feel like when it comes to faith and morals, I feel like people are going to be very rooted and grounded in that today with the Sun trine Neptune. It may also lead people to a bit of like, I don't want to say like missionary work, but people may really, because they're so rooted and strong in their faith and their beliefs, they might try to convince you or they might try to convert you in a sense. So there may be a lot of that going on as well. So it's also a great time to learn about religion. So if you're looking to gain more knowledge about spirituality, about religion, even about the occult, today is going to be one of the best days to do it with Sun trine Neptune. Now, in terms of relationships, because this is a little bit advanced astrology, but Venus and Neptune are sort of related. Okay. Neptune is like Venus on steroids in a sense. Let's just say that. And so there's sort of this energy of relationships, this undertone of relationships whenever we're talking about Neptune. And so with the Sun trine Neptune, there's this ability to have a stronger bond, particularly when it comes to spirituality in relationships. So existing relationships can find more bonding in a shared spiritual belief or shared faith in a particular religion. There's also this element, like I said before, Neptune makes things a lot more sensitive and a lot more empathic. So in relationships, this transit tends to play out in being more affectionate, being more lovey-dovey, being more tender and more loving. So especially intimate relationships can definitely benefit from this particular transit. Now, if you form a relationship under this transit, and relationship doesn't necessarily just mean romantic. This could be a business partnership, a friendship. There's going to be this element of being sensitive or spiritual. So there's going to be a lot of nonverbal communication. There's going to be a bond on a deeper and more subconscious level. So I feel like any relationships formed while this transit is in effect really is going to allow you to just have a deeper and substantive relationship that's a bit more sensitive, a bit more idyllic, and maybe even a bit more lovey-dovey if you're talking about romantic relationships or even friendships. All right. Otherwise, it's a great energy to start the week. I feel like it allows us to dream. It allows us to fantasize. It allows us to set our reality in motion on a good note. So you're definitely going to want to take advantage of this energy today. All right. And then next up, we have Mercury sextile Pluto. And this makes your thoughts and communications a lot more. Anytime you have Pluto in the mix, things become very intense and they get very deep. All right. So this is so let's say this. First off, this transit is great for finding the truth of things. So if you are looking to get down to the bottom of a situation, if you've had your suspicions about anything, Mercury sextile Pluto is going to allow you to be a super sleuth and a private investigator. You're definitely going to be able to get down to the nitty-gritty and the bottom of whatever it is you're trying to figure out. All right. It also allows you to not just get to the truth of the matter, but uncover things. So it's one of those transits where if you do just a little digging, if you just scratch the surface, you can unearth a lot. Okay. So that not only pertains to knowledge, not only pertains to finding out the truth, but it also pertains to secrets, plots, and things like that. Like any little effort you put is going to unearth a lot. So do with that information as you will. If you're not trying to find out a whole bunch of stuff, you may not even want to scratch the surface, but know that if you do, a lot may come up. All right. This is also a great transit for learning about the occult, learning astrology. Psychology is also a subject matter that thrives under this transit. But by and large, this transit allows you to be persuasive to people. It gives you the power of mental persuasion. It gives you the gift of gab. So if you need to convince anybody of anything, especially if you have to do a presentation, if you have to ask anyone for anything, now under this transit would be a great opportunity to do so. But keep in mind that Pluto bestows power, but it's all about how you use it. Although it's not a planet of karma, if you misuse the power that Pluto sort of bestows upon you, it will come back to bite you in the ass. So if you find that you're unusually magnetic under this transit, or if you find that people are really buying into what you're selling, or people are really convinced by what you're saying, be mindful of how you use that energy. You don't want to use that energy to scam anyone, to get over on anyone, because trust and believe it will come back to bite you in the ass. All right. And the thing is, because it's a sextile, it's almost like you don't need to really hammer anyone over the head with your ideas. Pluto is going to give you this energy of magnetism, this mystery to you where you don't even have to say much, but you can convey a lot. But again, you're going to want to use this power constructively. Again, you don't want to scam anyone or do any fuck shit, because it's definitely going to come back to bite you in the ass. All right. And then finally for Monday today, we have the moon in playful Leo. So whenever you have the moon in Leo, this is all about letting your inner child out to play. This is one of those moons where it's great to do something fun. It's great to do something lighthearted, be creative. It's one of those moons where it's nice to be romantic. It's a great time to go out on a date, whether you're looking or whether you're already booed up. It's a great night for a date night, perhaps. Leo is all about attention seeking. So you may find that you're extra sensitive when it comes to attention. You may crave attention a little more when the moon is in Leo. But by and large, it's just one of those moons where do something that your inner child would love, have some fun, and just relax kind of. It's a very lighthearted kind of energy when the moon is in Leo. Now, the moon is in the last quarter phase. So the last quarter phase is halfway between the full moon and the new moon. So last week we had the full moon, that lunar eclipse in Taurus. And next week we're going to have a new moon, a regular new moon in the sign of Sagittarius. So we're right in the middle of those two. And when the moon is in the last quarter phase, it's about reevaluating the intentions that you set at the new moon, taking responsibility for how far you've come with respect to those manifestations and intentions, and let go of what's no longer necessary. So it's one of those, the last quarter phase is really where you take stock of how far you've come, how far you have left to go, and get rid of what you no longer need. All right. We are definitely in the waning phase of the moon. So this is all about releasing what no longer serves us and surrendering and letting go of certain things so that we have room for new intentions that we set at the new moon. All right. So that's Monday. So now we move into Tuesday. All right, so on Tuesday, we have the first of the Jupiter trines this week, and that's Venus trine Jupiter. So you'll see Venus at the left-hand side of the chart at 28 degrees Scorpio, and it will be trine to Jupiter, which is at 28 degrees Pisces. And currently, Jupiter is still retrograde, which I'm not going to say it's not a big deal, but it's definitely not a Mercury retrograde. Let's say that. All right. So Venus trine Jupiter. Remember I said before that Venus is a positive planet, Jupiter is a positive planet. And when you combine those two positive planets with a positive aspect, like a trine, this is like a gold star day. I would dare to say that this would be the gold star day of the week, but we actually have another aspect and another day this week that's actually almost equally as positive. But regardless, everything that feels good, everything that's positive is usually what happens with Venus trine Jupiter. It's about good luck. It's about good fortune. It's about abundance. It's about having money, getting compliments, getting gifts. It's great for starting a vacation. It's great for planning a vacation. It allows you to, develop as a person. It allows you to expand as a person. It's great for personal development and things like that. It's great for socializing. This is when you're going to want to link up with friends. It's like let the good times roll. That's definitely the essence of Venus trine Jupiter. Okay. It's great for dating and mending existing relationships. It's luck, so you may want to gamble a little bit, maybe play some lotto. Any investments made at this time, whether they're something that will yield long-term results or not, should actually be beneficial and should increase your wealth over time. So this may be a good time to invest. Now, that all depends on what's going on in your particular chart. So don't just say, oh, well, Mel said I should invest today, and then you end up investing in some fuck shit. Yeah, no, you would need to look at your personal chart and see what else is going on. But generally speaking, it's great for investing because anything you do right now will increase your wealth. And investing isn't just money. This could be sweat equity. This could be anything that you invest in, whether it's a business, whether it's a relationship. It'll lead to abundance. It's like abundance is assured. That's what I mean. All right. It's also a great time for shopping, especially for things having to do with beauty. So cosmetics, makeup, clothing, anything with art, anything having to do with fashion. Investing in those and shopping when it comes to those things are usually top tier when it comes to this particular transit. And again, it's really just feel good stuff, abundance, good health, good wealth, all that stuff. Money should be looking good. Gifts, compliments. But one thing you're going to want to be aware of is that any offers that you get while this transit is active, you're going to want to take advantage of them. If someone offers you a business, I mean, obviously it goes without saying, don't just jump into something without researching it, obviously. But typically, any opportunities that present themselves under this transit are usually beneficial. So don't sleep on it. Don't, neglect it. Any sort of offers you might want to really look into and take seriously because they likely will increase your wealth or they will increase your abundance. All right. So that's definitely something to remember. All right. That's Tuesday. So now we move into Wednesday. All right. So on Wednesday, first off, we have Venus moving into Sagittarius, and you'll see Venus at the bottom right-hand portion of the chart in turquoise, and you'll see that at 1 degree Sagittarius. All right. Then we have Mercury, which is at 29 degrees Scorpio, not too far behind Venus. It's going to be trine to Jupiter. So just like Venus was trine Jupiter on Tuesday, on Wednesday, we have Mercury trine Jupiter. You'll see Mercury at 29 degrees Scorpio, and you will see Jupiter at 28 degrees Pisces. And then we have the moon in Virgo. All right. So first up, Venus in Sagittarius. So I pretty much alluded to this earlier. Venus in Sagittarius is all about love on a universal level. This is about understanding love on a universal level. This is sort of having love for your fellow man, for humanity even on a universal level. It also gives love this sort of happy-go-lucky, bubbly kind of feeling, okay? I feel like we all become a little more idyllic when it comes to love. Compare this to Venus in Scorpio. Venus in Scorpio was all about the ugly side of love, the real side of love, the love that you don't see in the movies. It's very real, authentic, and raw. And so we come from that energy, and now we've got Venus in Sagittarius. It's about understanding love on a more broader level. Not necessarily romantic. I don't want you to confuse this with like Venus in Leo, okay? Venus in Sagittarius is love on a broader scale, but it's also this happy-go-lucky, optimistic energy that love exudes when Venus is in Sagittarius, all right? It's also about romantic adventures. This is definitely the transit for a vacation. This is definitely the transit to experience something new in romance and with a partner. Okay. This is also great for long distance relationships. Sagittarius rules things that are at a distance. So you may find that a long distance relationship forms or can form. It has the possibility of forming under this transit. All right. But by and large, Venus in Sagittarius is all about finding a higher truth when it comes to love. Again, it's understanding love on a universal level, on a broader level. Okay. And so we have Venus will be in Sagittarius through December. I'm not too sure exactly what date in December, but at least for the next month, Venus will be in Sagittarius. All right. And then we have Mercury trine Jupiter. So Mercury trine Jupiter, this is the bringer of good news, okay? Fortunate news, good news related to anything, perhaps, is typically what happens with Mercury trine Jupiter. Brings optimism. It brings positive thoughts, which I love. I think that's my favorite. That's my favorite factor of this particular transit, is that it brings optimism and positivity to your thoughts and communication. It's great for research. It's great for studying. It's great for learning new things. But keep in mind, if you have to learn anything that's full of a lot of details or a lot of intricate parts, it's not good for that. Mercury and Sagittarius is all about the bigger picture, seeing and understanding the bigger picture. So anything having to do with small details definitely won't fly with Mercury in Sagittarius. This allows you to have an open mind when it comes to things, especially when it comes to things like law, philosophy, religion, being open-minded when it comes to people of different cultures and different faiths. It's also great for progressive thinking and having a progressive outlook on life, okay, which I think is extremely important at this time. This is great for business dealings. So I feel like business goes well when Mercury is in Sagittarius, and it's no surprise that Mercury is in Sagittarius during Black Friday, during the holiday shopping season. So if you are a business owner, now is the time to get all of your stuff together, because with Venus and I keep saying Venus, Mercury in Sagittarius, it's great for business. So you're going to want to hit the ground running with that. It's also a good time for legal matters. Okay, so if you're looking to start a legal matter, if you are currently involved in a legal matter, I feel like Mercury in Sagittarius allows you to see the bigger picture. I feel like it allows for negotiations to go well because there's this undercurrent of optimism and enthusiasm. Okay, so those should do pretty well as well. This can also be a very fortunate time with good luck, which increases your happiness and your satisfaction. So much like that energy of Venus trine Jupiter, that feel good, happy-go-lucky energy, we're going to continue that. The party keeps on going with Mercury trine Jupiter. So it's great for our thoughts. It's great for our communications. It also allows us for personal development, a progressive outlook on life. You can learn from different people. You can talk to different people and learn a lot. Learning, when it comes to learning, with Mercury and Sagittarius, it's learning through experience. It's not necessarily learning like book learning, okay? And you learn through experience with interacting with others, right? Especially people who are of different faiths, cultures, religions. Like there's a lot to learn from others during this time, all right? And making friends becomes easy. People have that optimistic and enthusiastic sort of energy during Sagittarius season. Also, of course, with the holidays coming right up, that also puts people in a jolly kind of mood. So it's great for socializing and it's great for making friends. All right. And then next up, we've got the moon in Virgo. So the moon in Virgo is actually a little bit of an opposite sort of energy to Mercury and Sagittarius, right? Sagittarius is large and in charge. It's about seeing the bigger picture of life, while Virgo is sort of the opposite. Virgo is all about the details. Virgo is all about the boring stuff, whereas that Sagittarian energy is very adventurous and risk-taking. Virgo likes to play it safe, likes a routine, and likes predictability. So you may find that on Wednesday, you feel like, you're sort of teetering the line between wanting to be spontaneous and wanting to stick to your routine. You're going to feel good if you stick to your routine. Because if we're talking about the moon and the moon being in Virgo, the moon is all about our emotions. So with the moon in Virgo, we get our emotional satisfaction from organizing, from sticking to a routine, from being productive. So even though you may want to do the most, be spontaneous and be adventurous, I feel like you're going to feel good if you take care of your responsibilities, if you, organize, clean up, get efficient and stuff like that. So that's sort of that. You're going to feel, you may be feeling a little weird, right? You may just want to throw all your responsibilities out the window and just have a good time and be adventurous. But trust and believe, I feel like you'll feel good if you sort of, take care of your responsibilities, get organized, and maybe clean up a little bit. All right. So that's Wednesday. So now we move on to Thursday. All right. So just like we had Venus moving into Sagittarius on Wednesday, Then on Thursday, we have Mercury moving into Sagittarius, and you'll see Mercury at 0 degrees Sagittarius. All right. And so again, this is really just a reiteration of what I was saying before in terms of Mercury trine Jupiter, because Jupiter is the ruler of Sagittarius. So once Mercury moves into Sagittarius, it's sort of the same thing. We're able to have an optimistic outlook on life, a progressive outlook on life. You're able to, or not even, well, you're able to, but I feel like you're also going to have an urge to learn new concepts and ideals. I think like you're going to be very open-minded when it comes to learning new beliefs, new systems, new religions, new spiritual practices. I feel like you're going to be open-minded when it comes to those things. So there's this element of personal expansion, spiritual expansion also, that's possible with Mercury in Sagittarius, okay? And again, it allows us to see the bigger picture. This is not about being detailed oriented. This is not about seeing the trees. It's more so about seeing the forest, okay? So it allows us to really plan for the future. It allows us to plan for the future optimistically because we have that energy of optimism and enthusiasm, right? That's sort of the staple of Sagittarian energy. So it's great for planning for the future. It's great for visualizing the future. It's great for all of that stuff. Let's see, is there anything else that I missed? So there's this element of learning, like I said before, when it comes to Sagittarius. And we tend to be a little curious in Sagittarius, like curious in the sense that we want to experience new things that we haven't done before, things that we've shied away from. This is sort of the time where they sort of pique our interest. And it allows us to ask a lot of questions and seek answers, but not seek answers in the way that Scorpio does. Scorpio does it in a very intense sort of way. I feel like Sagittarius does it in a more open-minded and accepting sort of way. So you're able to ask questions, you're able to seek answers in a broader sort of way. All right. So it feels a little better. I feel like seeking the truth in Scorpio is like an inquisition. And I feel like seeking the truth when it comes to Sagittarius is through experience and open-mindedness. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. People tend to be a lot more friendly and humorous with Mercury in Sagittarius. And again, I love how like you can't even make this up. It coincides with the holiday season, right? Everyone is jolly. Everyone's feeling good. That's by design. It's not a coincidence, right? And astrology definitely reflects that. So I feel like people are friendly, people are more humorous. Again, it allows for better interactions with people, particularly people who are different than you, people who are not the same. That would be the essence of being different, right? But it's great for communication. It's great for friendship. It's great for camaraderie. Just feel good energy all around. All right. So that's Thursday. So now we get into Friday. All right. So on Friday, we have the sun in Scorpio at 26 degrees Scorpio. You'll see that the right-hand portion of the chart. And that is going to be sextile to Pluto at 26 degrees Capricorn. And you will see that at the upper right-hand part of the chart. All right. So sun, sextile Pluto. The main thing you need to know about this transit is that it gives you this drive to succeed. It's almost like, for some, it could make people a bit power hungry. People may want to be in control, not only of themselves, but perhaps of others, but definitely having control over your own life. I talked about earlier in this broadcast about sort of understanding your purpose, right? And sort of wanting to go after it full force. This particular transit is going to put a battery in your back when it comes to that. You're going to be determined and purposeful, especially when it comes to what you feel like you should be doing right now. But keep in mind, anytime you have Pluto, not only is it intense, but it's obsessive. So you might find that you start obsessing over this idea of what is my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing? And feeling like you need to do it, right? But the thing is, because this is a sextile, it's like opportunities are going to present themselves to you that allow you to fulfill this purpose, that allow you to further this purpose in life, okay? It also gives you an element of power. For some, this particular transit may present itself as a leadership opportunity or an opportunity to gain more power, whether it's at work or whether it's in anything. Okay. But like I said before, anytime you have Pluto in the mix, it does give you the ability to have more power and control, but it's all about how you use it. So if you use it beneficially, that will come back to you. But if you use it in a way that oppresses people, or if you misuse it, then it will come back to bite you in the ass. Okay. Again, you're going to want to use your power to help others because it's only going to come back to you tenfold, especially with all of this Jupiter energy in the mix. You know, Jupiter is about blessings. Okay. So if you bless others, if you are a blessing to others, you yourself will be blessed. I feel like that is one of the major themes of the astrology this week. Okay. Again, this is going to give you the ability to learn about occult things, uncover mysteries. Remember, we had Mercury sextile Pluto on Monday. And with the Sun sextile Pluto, it's sort of going to be along the same lines. If you scratch the surface, a lot can come up. I feel like a lot of opportunities can present themselves to allow you to figure out the truth, to solve mysteries. It's like what happens in the dark will come to light. That's definitely the essence of the Sun sextile Pluto. But by and large, I feel like you would definitely want to use this energy to further your goals, your personal goals, anything that you feel like you're here to do, anything that you want to do. I feel like opportunities are going to present themselves under this transit for you to do those things. So definitely take advantage of them. All right. And again, you may have this level of attractiveness, this mysterious attractiveness, which is great, right? Because if you're talking about, fulfilling your purpose and doing what you're here to do, you may just attract the right people, places, and things that allow you to do that. Again, you're going to have the power to draw things to you, to draw people to you. But again, you don't want to misuse it because it will come back to bite you in the ass. All right. That's Friday. So now we are up to Saturday. All right. And so on Saturday, we have Mars, which is at 22 degrees Gemini, which is currently retrograde. And it's going to be square to Neptune, which is at 22 degrees Pisces. And that is also retrograde. And then we have the moon moving into Libra. All right. So with all the goodness, joy, abundance, optimism that I've been talking about this week, Saturday is one of those days where it may not feel that way. Mars square Neptune is going to have you feeling lethargic. It's going to have you feeling low energy. But most importantly, it's going to have you thinking negatively. It's almost like the negative voice in your head is going to be pretty loud. All right. And it's going to... If you suffer from depression or anything like that, it may be one of those days where you feel particularly bad. And if that is the case, please talk to somebody, see a counselor, see a therapist, because this particular transit can be pretty intense, especially because both planets are retrograde. So that energy is being directed inward. If these weren't, especially Mars, if these two planets weren't retrograde, this would be people saying negative things to you. But because it's retrograde, it's like you saying negative things to yourself. It's like having a negative self-concept. It's like having negative thoughts that sort of plague you almost. But I want you to remember the acronym for fear. It's false information appearing real. Anytime you have Neptune in the mix, things are not as they seem. Things can be fantastical. Neptune rules illusions and deceptions. So those voices you hear that are telling you you're not good enough, that you can't do this, you can't have this, they're not real. They're not real. And so you definitely shouldn't take them. You shouldn't value whatever these negative thoughts that you tell yourself. Okay. Now, the thing is, the one, saving grace, or the one positive thing about this particular transit, it allows you to work on yourself. Because if you're aware of the negative things that you say to yourself, or the negative beliefs you have about yourself, you can work to change that. But it's going to take a lot of willpower, and you're probably not going to feel like doing it. You're probably going to feel like staying down in the dumps. You're probably going to feel like being, remaining in a negative sort of state. So it's going to be hard. It may be hard to overcome these things. Thankfully, this transit doesn't last for too long. But again, if you're someone who suffers from depression, if you're someone who suffers from a lot of negative thoughts and negative self-talk, it may be a difficult transit to get through. So again, if you feel the need to talk to someone, please do. I cannot stress this enough. It may also make you feel paranoid, jealous, vindictive. This particular transit lends itself to a lot of low vibrational energy, and you definitely don't want to entertain that. So definitely try not to, especially if you find that you're around people over the weekend, try not to engage in gossip or slander, because a lot of that is going to be going on too. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of perhaps we always see celebrity gossip, but something juicy may come out over the weekend in terms of a particular celebrity or something, someone said something, that kind of a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a major case of that over the weekend, because this transit sort of lends itself to that energy. And I say that because the moon is also going to be in Libra. So you're going to have this urge to socialize, but this could definitely be one of those transits where you trauma bond, or like where misery loves company, because you feel like socializing, but you want to bond with people over miserable shit or low vibrational stuff, or to get together and talk about someone in a negative way or gossip or something like that. So you're going to want to be mindful of that. There may be a lot of that going on over the weekend. So be mindful of that. The last thing I'll say about Mars square Neptune is that it lends itself to hypochondria. So thinking you're sick, but you're not, you all know what hypochondria is, right? So you're definitely going to want to be mindful of that over the weekend. All right. And like I said before, the moon is going to be in Libra. This is all about socializing, being out, relating to people. But with that Mars square Neptune energy, I feel like it's just going to be, it could be a misery fest. It could be a gossip fest. May not be the best. But for some, that moon in Libra may be your saving grace, because if you feel down in the dumps, if you feel low energy, sort of getting together with friends and socializing with people may help get you out of that rut. Okay. So obviously use your discernment. If you feel like going out is going to be beneficial to you, then do it. If you feel like it's not, then don't. Right? All right. So that's Saturday. And now we make it to the last day of the week, which is Sunday. So on Sunday, we have the sun at 28 degrees Scorpio, which you'll see at the left-hand side of the chart. And it will be trine to Jupiter. So this is the third Jupiter trine this week. And you'll see Jupiter at 28 degrees Pisces. Now, I love this because, like I just said, Saturday is not going to be the best day. I feel like Saturday, it's going to be sort of down in the dumps, a little heavy, negative self-talk, all that stuff I talked about before. And then we bounce right back into the positivity with Sun trine Jupiter on Sunday. So this is the best of the solar transits. Much like Venus trine Jupiter, Sun trine Jupiter is also going to be like a gold star day. So Tuesday is going to be a gold star day. Sunday is going to be a gold star day. You're going to feel happy, self-confident, self-assured. I feel like all of that negative self-talk that you were giving yourself on Saturday, I feel like on Sunday, you're going to realize that, again, it wasn't real. And you're going to get back on board when it comes to being happy, optimistic, enthusiastic, all that good stuff. There's going to be lots of opportunity for personal, spiritual, and material growth. Again, whenever you're talking about Jupiter, it's all about expansion. All right. Again, it's just a really feel-good kind of energy. And if any sort of opportunities present themselves, definitely take advantage of them. Don't let that negative self-talk psych you out of something that could be really good and beneficial for you, even if it's not in the short term, but definitely in the long term. So again, you're going to want to use your discernment. You don't just want to say, oh, this can't really happen, or, oh, this is too good to be true. Even if it's too good to be true, that may be the case, but more than likely, it probably isn't. Jupiter is the planet of blessings. It's the planet of abundance. It's the planet of good luck and good fortune. So when it comes to anything that comes your way under a Jupiter transit, especially since all three planets, the Sun, Mercury, and Venus, are going to be trine to Jupiter, this is all positivity. And not even is it just positivity, it's effortless positivity. So I cannot stress enough, if you get some sort of opportunity to do something this week, do it, because it's either going to make you feel good or it's going to set you up for something better in the long run. And I love that that is how we sort of end the week and make our way into Sagittarius season, which is going down next week. All right. All right, my loves. So that has been the weekly astro forecast for the week of November 14th through 20th, 2022. I sincerely hope that you were able to get at least one important piece of information from this live or this replay that you can use going into this coming week. All right. If you would like to order a natal chart report from me, or you would like to know more about my products and services, those links are in the description box below. So don't forget to check them out. Thank you so much for tuning in. I wish you nothing but the best for this coming week. And I will see you in my next live. All right. Take care.